And we have the low-income housing tax credit. We have programs now, but they're so much diminished from what historically they were and what we need. And so we're left with this, this sort of impossible situation. And service providers are managing chaos and impossibility. And we talk about how, of course we need to house everybody, but I don't even think we know how we would do that as a city. It's so far.
Well, and how we can agree on doing that is really the thing.
And in the community, in the Castro, we have empty lots. There's plenty of empty lots in the Castro. But are we really going to step up and do that?
Yes, you are.
Yes, we are. Even if we had the funding that we need. So what I actually really want to, I'm sure there'll be a moment to thank everybody, but I really want to thank Tommy, and I really want to thank all the people who organize this, because I think that given that everybody on all sides of this problem is in an impossible situation, the people who are housed, who are seeing this and experience it, it seems terrible, and if you are not housed, it's terrible, and if you're trying to provide services to people who are not housed, it's terrible for everybody, but not everybody understands the experience of the person on the other side. And I think the value of something like this is to sort of show that and to be able to hear the stories of the people over there. And, it's not just me who's in a miserable situation because of this. We're all in a miserable situation because of this.
So we have Tommy and JR, and then one last comment. Okay.
Did you have a comment too, Margot?
Well, I just wanted to comment very briefly. I'm Margot Antonetti. I'm with the Department of Public Health, and we actually are involved in some of those pipeline projects. And I think the meeting today was about listening to the service providers and the people who are out in the trenches doing all this work. The ones that I know and the ones that I don't. But I'd certainly be more than happy, and so will be others, to attend other kind of meetings, to be some kind of resource. We do all deal with the budget as it is and with the economy as it is. But I think one of the things that's really needed, and that I don't always see, is really a community coming together and wanting to do something together, understanding that there are differences about how different people want to do it and what will work for different people, that is not a one, size or one box or whatever fits all.
I think Raphael said a lot of what I wanted to say, but I just want to add, there are 2 projects in the works for the Castro, for empty space lots in the Castro, and those both will involve affordable housing. Commercial on the bottom, affordable housing on the top, primarily for low-income people with AIDS, which is a great need in the Castro, because a lot of people with AIDS are homeless or about to become homeless or very close to being homeless. The AIDS Housing Alliance does a lot of amazing work with that population. But I just want to put that out there, because you know what, folks? If they do get that together, and it looks like it's coming together, they're going to need our support. They're going to need all of our support. And we need to be there when all the crap starts, and when there's all the opposition to putting up this affordable housing in the middle of the Castro, where a lot of people feel should be only high-income people. And we need to be there to say, no, we need to be helping low-income people with AIDS in our community to be housed in the heart of the Castro, where they feel welcome and feel a sense of community, like everybody's been saying on the panel, because those folks need that sense of community. So just want to put that out there. Remember, when you hear about these projects, come out to the meetings and speak up, because lots of people will speak against them.
Yes.
JR, you had a couple of comments.
You got the finishing word.
Why don't we have one finishing word? We just
so, my comments are from things 15 minutes ago.
Tell it like it is.
Okay. So first thing about the cops, all my friends don't like cops. So I guess unless a youth is harassing or being violent, it'd be kind of harmful to the space by calling cops, because I know if somebody's just cussing you out and you do call the cops or something, the cops are only going to take them away for a day, and then they'll come back and be even more disruptive, or yeah. And what else? Ew, I hit 3. What was the second one? Oh yeah, for the space, the Eureka Valley Recreational Youth Space over there. I was actually talking to somebody about that, because I wanted to do a youth group on Saturdays, but in the summer they're gonna start charging. They're gonna start charging because of all the stuff that's happening. So it's $100 an hour. That's why. That's why, another thing about that space. And the other thing about, I used to go over there when they used to have dinner at the church over there, if they still have it, I don't know.
On Wednesdays. Yeah.
Yeah, long time ago.
Wednesday and Fridays.
Yep.
But, there's, I didn't, it might not be, the best place for youth, because I saw people, sometimes like on drugs and everything, and they would feel kind of weird being there. A whole bunch of people on drugs, older people, so I was like, yeah.
The program still goes on, there's cards for it back on the table.
One last closing comment.
Well, it's not more of a comment, it's like a role play. So I know you guys don't get to see what these people do most of the time, every single day, but if I was to ask one of these particular people, any one of them today, like I do, or what most youth do every single day, that's how there's like no housing. That's like, guys, I need housing, I need it fast, and I'm yelling to them and I'm crying, and that I can really see when I look into their eyes how emotional it is for these staff, because they can't say, you know what, there's a nurturing place for you to stay. That's the level of housing. There's nothing. Nothing. And that's what really it sucks. So.
Thank you, Jesse, for you. So where are you going to sleep tonight?
Like I would have to do every single night in the Castro, right up there near the church. Is it Diamond Church or whatever? Holy Demon. I sleep right over there, and sometimes, depending on what day of the week it is, there will be cops that come wake you up 6 o'clock in the morning, tell you need to leave, even though you're not on no property, because the church is a public. It's
Privately held, it's
religion.
private actually.
It's private, but it's religion. You have the right to religion and the right to, and the church usually advocates that you can sleep on their church. But, you know, there'll be cops that will harass you. It's early in the morning. Usually they're also recreational parks, so they're federal police or something like that. And they'll wake up the youth and or any type of homeless, and if you don't move, they citate you. So then you have to get a bill and this and that. And so, and like I said, San Francisco, it's been really cold for the past few weeks, but we're not left with no options, you know, and I see it. I see youth up and down 19th and Diamond prostituting, and I'm like, and sometimes there's things that I've done, like I've drank 3 days ago. I'm not a drinker, I've never done drugs, but because I've been so overwhelmed that I lost my SRO, because lack of funding, and not only that, I've been in the SRO for 2 years, and due to my situation. So I know that the homeless outreach team has helped and tried to keep me safe, but because you just can't fund for one person that's taken out of other people, so I understand that. But, you know, so I'm actually stuck now, back again where I was in the first out when I moved here 5 years ago, homeless. You know, and it's a cycle, and 5 years ago, there were a lot more 24-hour drop-in services. There was the Bell Street, not saved, but it just shows how much has even those adult shelters lost as well. So even if there was a youth who's like nacho and is okay to be in there, there's not even those options anymore either, because they're so limited, they're so crowded, that even the shelters are so bad that they don't just target gay people. They're so abusive to anybody. They're so abusive among their own staff that they get staff fired, quit, and then they lose their funding. And so it's a wash machine. There's a lot of mixtures of a lot of things right now. And I just hopefully, you know, and I will speak to Bevan Duffy as well, who's a supervisor.
Go speak to Gavin Newsom. I refer homeless youth to Gavin Newsom's office to get housing.
Because
but then I got a call saying that was
get media
wrong.
involved in this, because this is really a big thing. You know, there needs to be. We were talking about the diesel up there. We have a diesel shop. I know how much we love to shop there. You know, because I love that stir. But that place would be such a great place for a homeless. It really would. You know?
Oh yeah.
Diesel sign up there though.
balance.
Diesel shelter.
So,
Diesel up.
thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks everybody for coming tonight. Thanks the panelists. We really If you haven't signed up for being a part of the solution, thanks.
You want to sign up? The list is still here.